Hello, everyone, and welcome to MESIA Chats, our short-form interview series bringing together the renewable energy community to discuss the key developments shaping solar and storage across the MENA region. I'm Sol from the Middle East Solar and Industry Association, and today we are delighted to be joined by one of our valued members, PVH. With us today, we have Mr. Charan, Technical Office Director. In today's conversation, we will explore how the solar industry is responding to the changing regional landscape, the importance of resilience in project delivery, and the outlook for renewable energy across MENA. Charan, thank you so much for joining us today. It's a pleasure to have you with us. Could you tell our audience a little bit about PVH and your role in PVH?
Thanks, Sol, for having me for this chat. So PVH is a tracker manufacturer. We are headquartered in Spain, Valencia, with factories spread across Spain, Saudi Arabia, and USA. So we have set up our company as a tracker manufacturer for the past 10 years. And we have manufacturing facilities, like I mentioned, in different regions. Based on the project requirements, we decide which region we can better supply the materials from. And I think that's one of the topics that we're going to discuss about supply chain resilience. And about myself, I've been associated with the solar industry for over 15 years now. I started with designing fixed tilt systems, and then moved to designing tracker systems. And I've been in the tracker industry for the past 8 years now. So yeah, happy to be on this chat and give some insights how the industry is going forward.
Thank you, Charan, and thank you for that information. We're also very pleased to have you here with us on the MESIA Chats. So I think to begin with, let's look at the bigger picture, which the renewable energy industry has had, to say the least, a lot to navigate a rapidly changing regional landscape over the past few months. From PVH's perspective, how have recent geopolitical developments influenced your operations, customer priorities, and the execution of solar projects across the MENA region?
If the last few months have shown us anything, it's that supply chain resilience is just not a buzzword anymore. It's the entire baseline for any project survival. Look at what's happening with the global shipping routes. With ongoing disruptions in the Strait of Hormuz and most recently the strait near Red Sea, the vessels are being forced to take a long route around Africa. That adds weeks to the transit time, drives up the freight costs, and introduces a massive amount of uncertainty to the critical path of any solar project. Because of this, we have seen a fundamental shift in the customer priorities across MENA. Just a couple of years ago, the same customers, the EPCs and the developers, always used to insist on lowest upfront capex. But today, the number one priority is schedule certainty and execution readiness. And just having a lowest capex doesn't mean much if the equipment is stuck on a container ship for 3 months and your site team doesn't have any material left at site to execute at site. From a operational perspective, this landscape has thoroughly validated our 2021 strategy to localize manufacturing in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Operating our facility right in this region in Jeddah enables us to significantly reduce these global maritime risks. Over the past few years, we have significantly expanded our Jeddah facilities, which is allowing us to manufacture structural components locally and truck them directly to the site. This has transformed a high-risk global supply chain into a very manageable local logistical process for our customers. This ensures that the project execution stays on schedule, no matter what happens on the high seas. I think this way we are able to mitigate a lot of the risk for our customers.
Thank you, Charan. It's definitely interesting to hear how these developments are not only affecting the way projects are delivered, but also, as you've mentioned, how companies are approaching planning, procurement, supply chains, and risks. Which brings me to the next question of resilience. In challenging or uncertain market conditions, obviously maintaining project momentum becomes increasingly important. The leading solar tracker solution provider. How is PVH supporting developers and EPC in keeping projects moving forward? And what would you say are the roles that you see technology playing in helping projects adapt to a changing market, supply chain, and operation conditions?
So, to keep the project momentum, especially for the gigawatt scale projects that happen in this region, you need to first eliminate any friction even before your equipment reaches the site. In our view, technology is only useful if it simplifies what happens on the field. From a hardware perspective, what we have done with our tracking systems, both the Axon Duo Infinity and Monoline 2P, we have designed them for the extreme environments that we experience in the Middle East. That means designing for high wind loads, extreme desert heat, and heavy sandstorms. But doing it in a way that minimizes the number of components and also simplifies the assembly at site. Now, when a design is intuitive, the local site crews can install it faster with far fewer errors, which directly translates to improved project schedules as well. On the digital side, technology definitely plays a role in the visibility. Our customers have access to our tools like PVH Connect. So a project manager can have a clear visibility of where their materials are. They can track precisely what has arrived and what remains in the transit. And also it helps them monitor the entire timeline from the time the material is loaded to the final delivery. But we are always reminded by our CEO that technology alone won't solve field problems. Real support means having some human engineering response on the ground. We provide end-to-end services from pre-construction training for local labor to hands-on installation assistance and also commissioning support. When an EPC, mostly our customers are EPCs, experiences an unexpected ground condition or an alignment issue at site, we really don't expect them to wait for 24 hours to get a response from some other continent. Our engineers, our site engineers are right there in the site, in the desert with the customer, trying to solve the problem immediately. And that goes a long way in keeping the project momentum so that there are no delays in the execution at site.
That's actually a very important point, and I like that quote that you said, what your CEO mentioned, which particularly we can say, like, when it comes to resilience, it's not only about responding to immediate challenges, but it's also about ensuring, obviously, the projects remain reliable, competitive, and sustainable over the long term. And with that being said, despite the current challenges that we've seen here in the MENA region, we are still seeing significant solar ambitions and projects moving forward across the MENA region, which I therefore like to finish by looking ahead. When it comes to the future for across the MENA, what gives you the confidence in the future of solar across this region? And what message would you like to share with the industry stakeholders who are working to keep this region clean and on track?
What gives me immense confidence is that the fundamental drivers for solar in the MENA region are stronger than anywhere else in the world. We have world-class solar irradiance, vast land availability, and most importantly, there's clear, uncompromising political vision from initiatives like the Saudi Vision 2030. The region isn't just buying a solar anymore. It's actively building its own industrial ecosystem to support it. We are seeing a shift from simple project deployment, which used to happen a few years ago, to true industrial maturity, where local manufacturing, local talent, and local supply chains are taking center stage. That self-reliance is what makes the market sustainable for the long run. And with regard to my message to my industry stakeholders, whether you are a developer or an EPC or a regulator, it's simple. Please don't treat execution readiness or localization as just a tick box at the very end of a tender. Please plan for it from the very beginning, in the early stages. At the end, the projects that will stay on track over the next 5 to 10 years are the ones that partner with suppliers who have real proven operational roots in the region. When you build with partners who have transparent processes, local capability, and true field support, you don't just protect your schedule, you build energy assets that will deliver reliable power for 25 years and beyond.
Thank you, Charan. I think, to say the least, that is a very positive and inspirational message for the industry. Thank you for joining us and sharing PVH's perspective on navigating market uncertainty. It has been a very delightful conversation having you here today, and we are pleased to have PVH as part of the MESIA community. And thank you to everyone who joined us today and is watching the episode of MESIA Chats. For more conversations and insights from across the MENA solar industry, make sure to follow our MESIA website and make sure to follow our social media channels as well. We look forward to welcome you to our next episode.